Make sure I'm not muted. I'm not.
You're all set.
Awesome. Super. Well, good morning and hello. Welcome to today's webinar in celebration of National Distance Learning Week. As Erin said, I am Lynn Ann Hines McCoy. I am a student success coach for SUNY Online. And it's my pleasure this morning to introduce our speaker to you. So today's presentation will be given by Dr. Jennifer Shloming. I hope I said that right. From the Fashion Institute of Technology. Dr. Shloming is an assistant professor at the Fashion Institute of Technology and currently the assistant chairperson of the Science and Mathematics Department. She's been a faculty member at SUNY FIT since 2006 and teaches both online and in-person mathematics courses. Dr. Shloming completed the Teaching with Technology Certificate Program at FIT and is a SUNY Online Teaching Ambassador. Her research interests include technology in teaching and learning, rapid content generation for mathematics, mathematical fiction, mathematical poetry, and online learning. She has co-authored an OER in statistics and will write an OER in graph theory in 2022. Wow, pretty impressive. Welcome all.
Thank you. I will start sharing my screen. Desktop one. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay,
Yeah, that looks great.
And I have my little face there so you can see me on the screen too. So I'm just going to press recording, but you can ignore that just so my face is there. Okay, so today I'm very excited to talk about adding Spark to your LMS. So we use Blackboard at FIT for now. I heard it might change soon in the future. And Spark is really, really amazing. So I'm going to try not to be too excited, but I love it so much. It seems like a secret that a lot of people don't know about Spark. And it's really great if you are an instructor online, or you can use it faculty to faculty, administrative, even in your personal life to use Spark. So Spark, it's cloud-based, so you can be doing work at your institution and then bring it back home on a tablet. And it's super, super intuitive. And I will show you. So I believe you'll agree with me that it's simple to use and it's just professional looking. Okay, so I think that everybody in some way adds some decor to your home or to your office space, even if you add one little trinket on your desk. And when someone comes into your home or your office, they really get to see an additional part of you. They get to know you a little bit better. And I really feel that the way you have your course site, the decor, the decoration, it just enhances and lets the students see that, you care, that you're working hard, and just to get to know a little bit more about your personality. Not just students. So Spark, it's one of my favorite tools, and it's really the main source of decor for my courses. You will shortly see what my courses look like. And I do use, Blackboard themes, but Spark Pages, it's the essence of what my course looks like. And I embed Spark Pages right into the learning management system. Okay, there are lots of options on how to share, and I will show you how to embed. And you will have access to all these slides and a handout and how-to videos, so you don't have to worry. And you can ask me questions, of course. So even if me and another colleague are teaching the same course and using Spark, there's so many different themes and customizations that we would have something different and it would look professional and it would take not too long to do. And you can use Spark for different things, not just pages. You can make graphics and videos along with these web pages that I keep mentioning. And I'm going to show you examples of each. So graphics, web pages, and videos. And they all can be made, I would say, very nicely in under 5 minutes. Everything, a professional looking thing in under 5 minutes. If you have what you want to say in advance, then it could take even less than 5 minutes. So, and I will show you. So we're going to look at some examples from my courses. Some of you who are instructors may have just given midterm exams recently. I did. And although I remind students in my online courses that the midterm is coming up, you got to study, please do well. I want you to do well. Sometimes text, in course announcements and emails, I find that maybe some students don't read them. I don't know if others feel the same way. Or if you're sending emails to faculty members, sometimes they don't read those as well. And it's, we're in a pandemic, people are used to the screen all the time and text. So adding a graphic, I hope it just grabs people's attention and makes them like stop and pause and really look at what's being, talked about. So this is just like a simple example of a graphic I have in my online statistics courses. And I post this in Blackboard as a course announcement. And I also have it sent to the students' email addresses. So they have 2 chances to really see this. And everything that you're writing, all these graphics, you can do all text and have everything written also, so that you have that. But really just, looking at an image, especially when I think it's kind of in your face like this, I hope that students really did study, and I have to say they did very well in my online classes this semester. So I'm not saying it's because of this graphic, but it could be. So here's that. And I'm gonna play in the background. It took me 5 minutes to make a graphic for this talk, and I'm probably gonna use it in my class about the final. So I'm just gonna have this play in the background while I speak about this, about how passionately you feel about fonts and colors. So just gonna have this showing. The longest part about making a graphic for me was the slowness of my computer. As you can see, it's just loading and loading. I didn't know what I was going to write for this. I just knew I wanted something about the final information. I chose a template I thought looked kind of cool and relevant. There are templates for everything. You can see when you are first using it, little items are going to pop up to help guide you to what you want to do. Here, I'm just changing the default writing, and all I had to do was double click, and then a text editor just shows up. So I'm editing the text over there. And I do realize after I made this video that my default was in Spanish. So after this video, it should all be English. So in case you're wondering. And here I'm moving things around. All I have to do is just drag it to where I want it to be. Next, I'm just writing down, please remember to go through the folder or study. And if you had this prepared on a Google Doc, you can just copy and paste, and you might be done already. But here I'm just thinking about what I'm going to be doing and going slowly. Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, and Benjamin Franklin didn't say what I'm saying, so I have to delete it to Benjamin Franklin there. I'm deleting that. And then I'm playing around with the fonts. Not only can you play around with the fonts, and it's a little hard to see in this video, but you can look later that the font names also show you what it's going to look like. So instead of clicking on 1,000 fonts, you can just have a good idea of what it'll look like and click on a few. So, and you can, do different effects for the fonts. So that's why I wrote on the slide how, depending how passionate you are about fonts and colors, it can take a while to pick. But I really do believe that their default fonts and color schemes look great. I thought, for my students, I'm changing the font a little bit to make it easier to read. I did like the default. I thought it was fancy, but here I'm just looking for something a little bit easier. Once I found one, I really like that one. I decided to change the top again. So you can see I'm doing this. I thought it looked great. That was, 4 minutes, but then I just wanted to show you that maybe you want different color scheme, and they have preset palettes for you, like tons of them. And you can click around to see if you like any of them. I thought that was kind of nice. I looked around, but I truly like the default one that they gave. So you can see I tried a few of them. You can watch if you want later. But I went back to the original at the end. So that video, I did fast forward, but you can see that was 5 minutes to take something that I thought looked professional, simple to use, and you can put it in your courses. Okay, so let me go back here. Okay, so yeah, I use Bitmojis a lot for those that know me. In my online courses, I try not to use it, and I try to have the Spark really be the main decor, but I do slip in a few Bitmojis here and there. The first, introduction to me that the students get in the course site is a Spark video. So when you click on my course sites, right away I have an introduction video, and it's embedded in Blackboard. So I really hope that students, click and go through, and it's just 30 seconds on how the course works and some pictures. Okay, besides for an introductory video, I use Spark videos for my course Frequently Asked Questions blog, and to quickly answer student questions too. I use different tools to answer questions and make videos, but Spark, as you saw from just the, just to make a nice looking graphic, it's actually the same idea to make a nice looking video. You can make a video in under 5 minutes that looks great. So I try to do that if I have a quick question. So sometimes if faculty members can't figure something out, then maybe I will not use Spark, maybe I will. But what's really wonderful about Spark is they want you to go quickly. They don't want you to waste time, making a long video. And well, you'll see, I'll talk about it. So I'm gonna click over here. And it's going to show you a video from my course FAQ for students. I'm going to mute myself. This is an older video. I used a theme that maybe I wouldn't use anymore because there's so many really beautiful ones now. Here in this video, I am actually speaking.
And statistic is with a sample, so S with S. Here we have the population as the students from the entire school, and the sample are the students in the course. Okay, the proportion of your.
So what you can see here, you can have different slides based on what you want. It can be all text, it can be just pictures, or it can be a combination. And what's really fast about making these videos is you have what's written, and then you just press a little microphone button and speak over it. So I'm really just reading what's on these slides. So it saves a lot of time, and students can either just listen to my voice, just read what's there, or some combination of both. And if you're trying to speak for a long time on a slide, Spark will say, don't you want to keep it shorter? Like, let's wrap this up. They give you like helpful tips. Like, you can grab your audience's attention if you have short voiceovers on each slide. So that really helps me because I can just talk and talk about statistics or something else as well. So that's a quick video that I have. Basically for later, I did make some videos from start to finish. So if you were on the Spark homepage, how exactly to make a graphic and how exactly to make a video, just from start to finish, in case you wanted to play around with it, which I hope you do. I did want to show you, and each of them took 5 minutes to make from start to finish. I wanted to quickly talk about how to make a video. I'm going to fast forward and interrupt myself. I'll make it on double speed.
Okay, I'm gonna show you how to make the video. Very basic. Okay, so we're going to mute all of it.
Yeah, I muted myself for there. So here I'm just quickly going through how to do it. I'm picking a template. They even have a little 1-minute video of how to make videos. But I just wanted to show you how intuitive it is to use this. You can pick what kind of slide you want to have. Do you want to put a photo? Do you want to put a video? And it tells you, describe what you're talking about here. I made a video on my course FAQ because I use my course frequently asked questions blog in every announcement. So I was thinking, I could send this to future students in advance of the semester. Like, what is this place? And you can insert photos from Spark, or you can put in your own pictures and videos. So since I was talking about my own course FAQ, you'll see in a second, I uploaded a photo that I took up from my course FAQ. So that's what it looks like. Except here, you'll see that it has a bit of a tint to it because I use a screen shader for my eyes. And what I really wanted you to see is how I did the voice recording. So I'm gonna unmute that part for a second.
To change the layout.
Okay, that's my voice from before.
So here it's on the bottom, it also shows the blurs within that. Flare.
Okay, I'm interrupting myself again. So here I didn't pick the default. I was looking through, and within different themes, you have different color schemes. I was just playing around for a minute. So even though this video took me 5 minutes to make, if you just pick the default, it would be even less. Okay, so this is how I'm recording.
Hold while you're speaking. What is the course FAQ? Make sure it works. What is the course FAQ? I'm going to remove music to make sure that there's no music.
Okay, so the default is music. So I put down in the notes, be careful. You might not want music playing in the background. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just recording what I have written in the slides. So I'm just going to go a little further so you can see. I just tested it to make sure that it worked. And this is my finished video it really did not take that long to make. And I really think that if you have in advance what you want, I think you could have made this in 2-3 minutes. Okay. So that's the essence of Spark Video. Let's go back. Okay, so now I get different kinds of questions. If it's a specific question to one student, I would click on the email. And when I click on it, it would share, you type in the name on the email. You could share with more than one person. You just type in the email and it'll like populate a message for you. It'll say, hey, check out my video. please watch my video. But a lot of times when students have questions, I put it in my course FAQ, my course frequently asked questions. So then I would either link to it or embed. And I will show you how to embed. Okay. So we talked about graphics and videos, and they're great, but they are nothing compared to Spark Pages. I love it. I love Spark Pages so much. So I'm just gonna skip right into seeing like what is the Spark Pages that I keep talking about that make up the, the decor of my classes. So all my units have Spark Pages. I do give the students options that if they don't want everything looking really nicely in one place, that's okay. They can go piece by piece in Blackboard. I don't know why they would do it, but I prefer the Spark page. I put it right on top. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I picked 2 random ones. And I'll mute myself there. So this is one of my courses. This is embedded in Blackboard, a Spark page. You could also see that I have everything broken down below. It's up to the student how they want to view it. This is, I would say, a more complicated Spark page, but it still did not take that long to make. Okay, this is called a glide show, where it involves a lot of scrolling and there are background images. For these Spark pages, you can have videos, images, links, photos, basically anything that you would want can be on this Spark page. So, and then I ended really the same way. And in these Spark pages, I do use links in different ways. I use buttons, which are fancy links, and regular links. And I'm going to show you another one. And hopefully you can see, I'll point out when I have links. Okay, so here's another one. I start out with what's going to go on in this module. I pick images. Those are my mini lectures. Those were buttons that link to the mini lectures. I have videos, which were links. Then more examples was a button, fancy link. I just go over every single part of this unit, what you have to do in a way I think is interesting and that students would read. Let me get out of there. Okay, so I showed you that. And at first, I would recommend making simpler pages because, like I said, you might get carried away, making a glide show like you previously saw with all these images, and it's fun. It's fun to look through the images they have. You may want to make your own images. Some of my Spark pages, I couldn't find like a relevant image for, I think it was like ANOVA testing. So I tried to make my own and I put that as one of the main images of my page. But I also use web pages, the Spark pages, for just like a simple information page where you don't need to keep scrolling. It's really static. You just move down a little bit. So I'm going to show you. I use that for my midterm and my final. And I just think keep it simple for those things, but you don't have to keep it simple. It's up to you what you want to do. So this is what, inside my midterm folder on my course site, they have the option of seeing the all-in-one page, or they could have scrolled in Blackboard to see it piece by piece. So here I just have one image. I thought it was relevant for like midterm studying. And you can see the page is almost ending. All I have here is just the basic information about the midterm. You could see I bolded certain things. Don't wait until last minute to do the midterm because, due to the pandemic, we have things on the computer and not in person. So they have to get in their work on time. And then you can see right here, This is a button, it's called, but I call them fancy links. They're just links that look kind of pretty, in my opinion, versus these other links, which are fine, whatever you want to use. And here, this button is like a rectangular shape, but depending what theme you use for your page, it could look different. So this is what the students are seeing when they're in my math classes. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a designer. I don't really understand, what looks wonderful these days, but I do think like if you're in a math class and you have this extra layer to it, students will appreciate it. So let me go back. Okay. And, oh, great. So now I'm going to show you how to make a quick Spark page from scratch. And I'll interrupt myself since I made the video with important things. Okay, so I'm going to interrupt myself a few times here, and I'm going to make it faster.
You can make it simple. You can make it a slideshow that's long, which I showed in my courses in the beginning.
Okay, so I'm just going to interrupt myself. This is what the homepage looks like, and you can find things quickly. When you're ready to start, you'll see basically instructions telling you what to do and where to put things. So I was making a final information page and just typing it in. I didn't have something to copy and paste, but if you did, that's great, even faster. Now here you have many different options on how to get pictures. So finding free photos, there are issues with copyright, but with Adobe Spark, there aren't if you click on the find free photos, or you can upload your own, or you can connect to your Google Drive. It shows you all the options. Okay, here I'm gonna let myself speak. Before, after, during. Right now I think it looks nice. I usually use Crisp. I use Baldwin sometimes, Chic, Chronicle, and Wesley I use a lot if the background image is a little prominent. So then I use with this line over. Use whichever one you want. It's good to play around and see what styles work. Again, if you just do the default, it'll look good. You won't take that one. So I'm just going to interrupt myself again while it plays. I just typed in, I think, notebook, or I don't remember what it was. And I just wanted to show you the different themes that I usually use. So I thought this was nice for a quick default. I probably would use this and will use this in a future class that I have. And here you can see this is the main editor of a Spark page. Super simple, not that many choices, not to overwhelm somebody. So before, oh, here's a button where it's a fancy link, and you can type what you want it to say, and then you put the link in and decide, do I want it all the way on the left? Do I want it in the middle? Or do I want it in the right? And here you can see the button looks different than it did in a previous page because of the theme. So if you have a preference with what your button will look like, then just be aware of that. You may want to pick a different theme. Okay, so the text editor, we just have bold, you have italicize, you can left center, to the right, or you can make it look ginormous or a little less big. That's it. So you're not spending too much time editing things. Okay, so here I was just going through to write certain things, and I wanted to, that's not as big. And I'm gonna put in a link. So I just wanted you to see that part. And oops. You can see here the link is not a button, but it works the same way. And with this theme, it's not blue, but other themes it is blue. And so you pick what you like. Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward really through the rest. And again, please, if you're making your own page, feel free to, pause and stop the video. I don't know why I'm smiling. Well, I guess I'm having so much fun making the page that I'm smiling. Maybe something funny happened while I was making it. And just to show you that it didn't take long to make this quick page that you could embed in your course. And I just wanted, oh, and then I was showing the Glide show part. So if you wanted to add like lots of scrolling and pictures, what I recommend is here I was just typing notebook and you could spend a lot of time picking pictures. What I would do is I would pick a bold image and then a simple image, maybe one color, just so that it's not like visually too much for students. So if you remember what I did show for my previous pages, I had something that really I would hope like captures their attention. And then I had, something in the background. And I would recommend just picking tons of pictures, putting in a lot. So here you can see I'm putting a lot there. And then you can rearrange what order you want, delete. But when you're making a glide show, just put tons of pictures you want, and then you can decide later what works and what doesn't work. And when I was making this, I thought, okay, I have too many bold and exciting ones. So I ended up deleting a few. Okay, and you could edit the photos easily, delete them, and a little text area is going to pop up, and you can decide if you want to have the text off to the left, the center, or to the right. Oh, and I was looking for more. I saw these magnets that my kids had, so I had to put that in the glide show and the origami there. Okay, so, all right, let me go back to making a page. So besides for how I think great it looks and easy it is to make, if you're using the same material semester to semester, I do course copies and then they appear in the following term, but I update the pages. So maybe the final information changes. Maybe they have to come to campus to take the exam, or maybe I'm teaching different topics. Since it's in the cloud, wherever you're working on your page, you can go and edit, and you just have to click update link. So within your LMS, within Blackboard, you don't have to change any links. Spark does it for you. And I really think that's one of the most amazing things. You don't have to worry about, oh no, are my links updated? If you're editing your page or your video, all you do is press a button and then it'll work. Oh no, Esther, you don't have sound? Can people hear me? Okay, Esther, I don't know why yours isn't a sound.
I hear you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, so I do have a little bit of time to just show you how to embed. Once you make your page, you have a choice how you want to share it. You can share it with a specific person, but embed is, if you're giving your course site the look, that's what I recommend, the embed link. And I have, information here on how to do it. I made a quick video on how to do it. The main thing is you're finding source code. So right now in Blackboard, source code is it's the icon next to the little person. So from start to finish to embed, it shouldn't take long. If you do it once, then you'll get the hang of it. And all right, so we're ready to embed into our course site. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself since I'm here live talking about it. I picked a really, really old course that was actually on Angel and migrated it into Blackboard. So this course, it really is not representative of what my courses look like. So please do not judge the course. That's just what happened. I picked it because it looked like this, that I can just put anything inside. So I went to the content area, and here I'm going to let myself explain. I'm going to build content item. Okay, I'm going to type in midterm information because that's what the page is about.
then we're going to click, you can hover, but I remember it now as it being to the left of the little person. So we're going to click on where it says source code. And you might be thinking, wait, this looks weird, or it looks different than it used to. Correct, it definitely changed this semester meaning fall 2021. So click on source code to the left of the person. Paste, whoop. Sometimes you might have something else copied and pasted. So I have to go back to the embed code. Let's see if it'll, there we go. I know it's right because it says Spark everywhere. Once you have your embed code, make sure to click save. And right away it'll show you how nice it's gonna look. You can't click on it from here, you have to submit it first. And then, okay, so, embedding it, I think that's really what gives your course the look. And once you do it once or twice, you'll be a pro, but you have this video to help you do it and the explanation step by step. For graphics though, you cannot embed as of now. There's a link though, or you can download it and post it. So I just wanted to make sure you don't spend time looking for an embed code that doesn't exist. And then I have just how to start using Spark. You really can just Google Adobe Spark, but I have the site here. And I did make a little handout that you can click on later with ideas I have to use it. So not just what you saw today, the ones that I used today, I have in bold, but ideas for assignments or just for yourself, making, if you're working on something and you want to showcase it, you can either do it with a video or with a Spark page. So for each of the topics I talked about, I just have some ideas. And then if you work on some Spark projects and you have different ideas, please, it would be great if you share with me so I can learn other ways to use it. So that is the end of my talk because I wanted to make sure that there was time for questions. So thank you for listening to me talk about Spark for so long. Okay, let me unshare.
This is great. Oops, hold on. Ooh, that's terrible.
So many wonderful ideas. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, should I look at the questions in the chat?
So I think there was one about accessibility of the Spark materials that you're creating from Michael.
Right, so that's a really big deal. And I didn't want to spend all this time making material just in one way due to making sure things are ADA compliant. So whenever I have an image in my course, or even if I send an image or graphic in an email, you just right click alt text and you can write down what the words are in a graphic. Sometimes if I'm making a video, well, for Spark videos, everything I'm saying is written down there. Whenever I'm making a new video, I make sure to actually have the script first. Sorry that I'm looking sideways. I have two screens. I'll try to go like this. I have the script first so that I'm not going off script. And then I have, for the video above, here is the transcript. So I'm really trying to be mindful of that. And for all the pages, I do have the option of students do not need to use the Adobe Spark page. Everything that's in the Adobe Spark page is just also written in text, piece by piece. So that's right now, that's my way around it, basically. Any other questions?
You also have the ability to unmute your mic if you would like to talk. give comments or feedback that way, and also the chat.
I am giving 2 workshops on creating Spark pages specifically. So if anyone is interested, you can message me, and instead of me, just talking about how wonderful it is, we would be creating pages together, not just pre-made videos. It would be live. So if you're interested, please let me know.
That's a great opportunity. That's not just for your campus?
I don't think so. But since this is SUNY and FIT is SUNY, I feel like if I had
Sure.
specific names, we can add, and it's through Blackboard Collaborate. So I think we can just send the links to specific people.
Right. You can add them as guests. That's great. I know our, I think this is funny. This actually happened by chance, that you are presenting first, and our 1 o'clock presentation, the professor, it's a totally different topic, but the professor uses Spark pages in his class on teaching film. And he's an FIT professor. So it's really kind of funny. So there's a plug for 1 o'clock to see it in action, I guess, right? But
Yeah,
we learn how to make it with you, and we can see it in action.
awesome.
Jennifer always has the cool tools.
Well, if you know any other cool tools, please tell me so I can, learn it and then make a blog post about it and then give a little session on it.
Absolutely. Remind me again what the circle is when you have your video embedded. I know we had a presentation on that too.
We do. I think you can find it on the National Distance Learning website from last
Yep.
year. It's called Loom. And
Loom, that's right.
Loom, as you can see, I use it for everything, for making how-to videos. And I love Loom so much. So please feel free to look at the past presentation from last year. It's called like sharing your screen and your face too, I believe.
Yep, that's right. All right, terrific. Well, I will.
Yeah, Jen, may I ask you a question? Sorry.
Go ahead, please ask.
Yeah, sorry. So I was taught how to use Spark by Jean Amato, my colleague who teaches at Film and Media Studies, and I think Spark is fabulous. And I just want to thank you for this presentation. I've been using it for my film courses, particularly on Akira Kurosawa, which I'm going to talk about in an hour or so. And Spark is excellent. So I want to thank you for that. And I think the more people use, more and more people should use Spark. I think it's great. Thank you.
No, and thank you. And please tell your colleagues to come next week to the FIT workshops where I talk about Spark pages some more. So.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I will encourage my colleagues. I don't have the power to make them do anything.
I get it.
They do what they want to do, but and the bottom line is that in this context, I might add that we're using Zoom now, and we use Zoom for our film courses. In some other departments, we are not supposed to use Zoom, and I think we're supposed to use an inferior system, which makes our online instruction much more difficult. And that is an issue at FIT, which you probably are aware of. And I don't want, I don't want to get you into trouble by getting into, shall we say, what's the word for it? Volatile issues. But I mean, basically, I think we should be able to use Zoom because it's for this kind of purpose. It's perfect. Thank you. It's good.
You're welcome. Well, you could email the head of Faculty Senate, Calvin Williamson.
No, I've talked about this a long time, and we have support from Dean Kneasley. The dean is great. But the problem is that there are people in IT who somehow say that Zoom is, this goes way back. It's an old story. It has to do with the Trump administration trying to say that Zoom is, taken over by Chinese spies and something like that. And so they say Zoom has security issues. And all I can say is that if Harvard, MIT, Columbia, et cetera, all using Zoom, then why the hell can't FIT?
Well, here, I mean, this is SUNY and we're on Zoom, which is
For example,
wonderful.
it makes no sense at all. And this is an issue which FIT has to resolve, because it's basically the system what they're trying to make us use is inferior. There's no two ways about it, and everybody agrees it's inferior. And again, the fact that all these reputable institutions, including SUNY, all use Zoom should be the final word. So that's all I wanted to say.
I'm going to jump in here, and sounds very, very interesting. I'm sure there's more of a discussion on that topic later, but for right now, I'd like to thank everyone for your participation in today's webinar. Thank our guest speaker, phenomenal ideas, and for sharing your expertise. The session recording and slides will be uploaded to the playlist on the registration site. Our next and final session begins at 1 p.m. For the full schedule of events, please visit the registration page. Erin's going to put that link in the chat. We'd also appreciate your feedback if you'd be so kind. Please complete the survey at your convenience. Again, Erin will put that link for the survey in the chat. Check out the additional sessions that are happening on the USDLA website, and we certainly hope to see you at some of the final webinars that are still coming up today. Again, thanks so much, Dr. Jennifer, and for all of the participants. Another great session. Thanks.
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will hopefully see some of you again at 1 o'clock.